Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys and Ride, and welcome to our how-to video on the 2022 Jeep Wagoneer, and this is a Series 3. Today I'll be covering the infotainment screen and passengers screen. I'll do a general overview, show you how to access information, and do a deep dive. Let's get started. Today we're working with our friends at Morrie's Golden Valley Cadillac in beautiful Golden Valley, Minnesota. All right, so the screen itself is a 12-inch screen. It is all touch control except for your volume and power right here, and then your tune and scroll right here. But everything else is a soft touch button, so just a capacitive touch. There's no actual button, just a picture that you click on. All right, it does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Both are wireless in this vehicle. You have AM and FM, Sirius XM, of course, Bluetooth. You got navigation. This has a 19-speaker Macintosh sound system, which is accompanied by a 17-channel amp and 950 watts of power. All right, so over here we've got, on the main screen, we've got three areas: navigation, media, and phone. And then we can customize that in a couple ways, and I'll show you that in a minute. Up here you've got some buttons where if I click on them, they actually bring up your heated seat, your heated steering wheel, cooled seats, and a sync button, okay? Which is nice to have a real quick sync button, especially when it's not a physical one. Okay, up here, if I click on that, I get the profiles. So here's where you can add the profile. If I click on here, notifications, this would just be if your car notified you. Maybe you had low windshield wiper fluid or needed an oil change. Okay, if I go here, this will bring me to the Wi-Fi hotspot stuff. So typically on a modern vehicle, if you click the clock, you go right to the adjustments for the clock. Instead, they give you access to the shortcuts that you can throw up here. So there are two ways to do the shortcuts. First of all, if you want to add a shortcut that's not currently up there, for instance, passenger voice, you click, it turns blue, and then you can drag it up to a spot and it goes. Now, if it's already up there somewhere, it's not going to let you do it. The other thing you can do is reorder the order. So if I click here, I can put the camera first. So you can reorder these things. All right, now, two lines. Typically, when you click the clock, it goes to clock. This time, you have to click here where it actually says the day and date. And if you do that, now you can go to your clock settings. Okay? So, and you actually have a few other things in there, but that's where it is. It takes you right to that. All right, if I click on the radio, it takes me to a full screen radio. All right? So, that, and then of course if I tap the passenger temperature, I got access to my heated, 3-stage heated and cooled seats, and then I can adjust the temperature. Okay, at the bottom of the screen you've got shortcuts, except for this one. This is kind of like a general, here are all the apps the car has, kind of a button. All right, so I said you could customize this, so here it is. You've got two symbols. You've got a box, a little rectangle with an arrow, you got a pencil. So if I click the rectangle with the arrow, it takes me to the full screen. Okay? Now, if I hit the pencil, I can change the widget. Now, it's showing you that the widget is a sort of a double-paned widget. Okay, and I just changed it to climate. Okay, if I do seats, it's going to offer me all these things. So I can change what's here just by using the pencil. So I think the way Jeep has it done is that whatever options you have in here are always going to take up the same size. Some cars you can change that around. You could have 4. This one is going to keep the sizes the same. So if I go, let's say that's my suspension. So I go over here and I say, well, I want navigation over here. You notice it still makes it a small window. So if I just go here quick, it takes me to full screen. All right, and if I go to phone and I say, well, I want heated seats there, I can have that. All right. Now, that's the home screen. There is another page if I swipe left. So here I've got pitch and roll and suspension, and again, you can go full screen, or you can edit what shows up there. So fairly customizable. You just can't change the size of the boxes. Okay, let's then talk about the shortcuts that are down here. So media. Most commonly asked question on media is, well, how do I change stations? How do I adjust the sound settings? And how do I make a favorite? Well, fairly easy. This is Sirius XM. Well, this is FM here, but it will work the same for Sirius XM. You can see it looks almost identical right here. Okay. If I want AM, I have to click on sources and I can go that. But again, it's going to look very, very similar to what FM was. So pretty amazing that they keep all the same. All right, so here we go. I can tune like this. Okay. I can use this knob and actually go, digit by digit. Okay. I can also then just click on my favorite. So how do I make something a favorite? You're going to click and hold. So here, and there it goes, 103.9. You can see all of your favorites by continuing over here. Now on this particular vehicle, your favorites down here will show not only, let's say FM favorites, but your Sirius XM favorites and your AM favorites. So all favorites show up. You want to see them all? Click on all. And then you say, how many are going to be shown? Well, I only want 12 to show, okay? Or I only want 6 to show. So you can decide how many you want to have show. There's quite a few you can have show. All right, I want to go back to media for a minute. Notice you have your sources down here too. You can hook up an Amazon Alexa through this. You do have this short, I can dial directly to a station. All right, so that's how you change channels. That's how you save a favorite. So now let's talk about how do you change the audio settings. Right up here, you have audio settings and you have balance and fade, equalizer, speed adjusted volume, surround sound, on or off, radio off with the door, and volume adjustment. So any one of these, when you click on them, you can just click the icon and drag, or you can use the actual arrows. Okay. So that's where the sound settings are. So then I just go back to plain, and it gives me that. I can also hit browse if I want to go by genres. All right, that's media. Let's take a look at comfort for a minute. Comfort is all of your climate controls sort of up here on the screen. You got your sync button again, which you can get just by clicking that, a little icon up there. But driver and passenger temperature control, your heated steering wheel, seats, ventilation. You click on them and then you can change the adjustment. Okay. These ones are pretty self-explanatory, so I won't go through them. You can control the rear right from here. Okay. Sync to drivers, so you can have all three sync to the same temperature. All right, let's take a look at navigation. Now, it's interesting that it comes right down. It knows I haven't programmed a route, so it's coming up right away saying, well, if you turn on navigation, you must need a route. So I could type in a name, and I could hit the check mark here, or I can just say, ooh, let's go to the one in Canada. It's only 822 miles. Hit drive, and there's your route. It's programming it right now. Not sure I'll make it in time for lunch, being that's 11:21. Perhaps if I drive fast. Okay, and now it's found the route. So I'm going to hit drive, and there I go. Now, low of fuel. Do I want to find a gas station? Oh, I'm going to say yes. Okay, now it's going to search for gas stations on my route, or very close to it. So I don't have to, drive a couple miles off the highway.
You will arrive at your destination at 3:15 a.m.
There, I'm going to program that one in. Say add stop. And there I go. Now it'll not only take me from here to the gas station, but then from here to McDonald's in Canada. I like it that Jeep adds an end route button right on the screen, so I can click that. Before I do that, I want to show you another thing. Here, you can kind of mute the alerts if you want, or have them on. You can change the view of the screen. Okay, if I click here, you get turn by turn. Hit the back arrow here. And if I hit options, I can review a route, find alternative, turn by turn directions, avoid certain road types. Okay, so you have some additional things you could tap in. Now, I'm going to click end route. I'm going to, do you want to end? Yes, end route. I'm going to X this out. And if I click on the car icon, I can have a trail view on. Okay, and if I take that, the trail view goes off. Now, what if I want to make some one-time settings in navigation? Well, I can click here, and I can go under settings. So, what do I want to show on my map? Do I want to show traffic flow, that's on or off? Do I want arrival and distance time? And they give you a couple of choices here, remaining distance, remaining time, both. So some one-time settings you can do there. On the sidebar, what do I want? Always visible, auto hide, manually hide. So you can go through those and make those changes there. Map view, okay? Do I want lane guidance on interstate highways? Yes or no? Auto map zoom. Well, you can have a zoom based on type of the road if you want, zoom at instructions, or no auto zoom. I would say zoom based on type of road. That would kind of be my preference, but basically what that means is when you get close to a turn, it's going to zoom in so you see the turn clearer. And when you finish the turn, it's going to zoom back out because you don't need to see the road that closely, and it will show you a greater stretch of the highway. But all of these are one-time things. Okay, routing. Okay, preferred route type, avoid, what things to avoid, reroute to faster route when available, send destination to phone. So these are the ones you just sit in your driveway and you kind of do them when you first get the car and you just program in and then you don't touch them. You just leave them. Okay, I want to show you one other thing because I typed in an address to get where our McDonald's, but the easiest way is to use voice command. Now, Jeep has done an interesting thing, and that is you're actually going to press the green phone icon on the left side of the steering wheel. There's no actual typical voice command button, but just press a quick press and release. Navigate to McDonald's.
McDonald's. This is everything I found. Which do you want?
4.
McDonald's, 9315 Medicine Lake Road, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Want this one?
Drive.
Navigation started.
And there we go. And again, I can just click the en route button. So simplest way to do it. All right, let's talk about phone. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hook up a phone. So I have an iPhone, so I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to go to settings and I am going to go to Bluetooth. And you would do the same thing if you had an Android. Scroll to the bottom of your Bluetooth devices and then click add a device. All right, let's see. Did it find it? Oh, yes. It always says you connect AE462D. So I'm going to click on that. Does that pin number match? Yes. So I hit yes on both devices, phone and infotainment screen. It always asks you on your phone if you want to sync your contacts and stuff. I always say no because it's not my car, but if it's your car, you want to say yes. So we're going here. Do you want to connect to Apple CarPlay? All right. And on my phone it says, do I want to automatically connect to the display? Even while it's locked, I'm going to say use CarPlay. I'm going to turn my phone off. I can put it down on the wireless charger below the infotainment screen, let it be, and I'm going to say, okay. And here's Apple CarPlay. Android Auto will operate very, very similarly. So the nice thing is, first of all, if you want to get back to the Uconnect system, you can just press the Uconnect system. They'll take you back here. All right. You notice Apple CarPlay is now an icon down below. Instead of phone, it says Apple CarPlay. So now every time you want to go to your phone, it's going to go to this. Because this will basically take any app on your phone that works with the car and put it up on the screen. These are all the apps from my phone that work. You'll notice I have Waze, that's navigation. I've got Google Maps, that's another navigation. Apple Maps, almost any navigation app you have will work on these. I have Apple Music, I have got audiobooks, Amazon Music, Pandora, lots of different music apps, and I can control everything through the screen. So I don't even have to pick up my phone, which is the whole point of Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. These are your most recently used items. Although I've never seen the phone icon disappear, so I think that one maybe is locked in place. But these ones are certainly your most recent. You do have a split screen view here. You got, right now it's running Google Maps, but if I had Apple running or Waze, it'd show that. I have a go button where I can click right on here and I can do a recent search here. I can pull up a keyboard, whatever, to program in an address. Or if I go back to this, I can hit voice here. This will access Siri, but again, it's easier just to use the green phone button on your steering wheel. Siri, open Pandora. And there you go. So the difference between using voice command and using that same button to do Siri or Google Assistant is that voice command is a quick single push and release, and Siri or Google Assistant is a push and hold until you hear that little assistant ding. All right. So, split view. Of course, you got median. If I clicked on it, it would go to full screen. Just an amazing thing, though. I mean, it's so nice. You get text messages. It's one click, and everything else is done hands-free, even without you pushing any talk buttons. The Siri or Google Assistant will ask you, do you want to hear the text? Do you want to reply? You reply, it'll read it back to you. I mean, it's really intuitive and really neat. So I'd encourage you to spend some time playing with this if you have Apple CarPlay, because it's way better than Bluetooth. All right, now. Moving over, we got vehicle. Okay, we've seen this screen before when we clicked on the clock button before. So here's where you do the clock. Here's where you can look at the phones and devices that are connected. You can look at voice command. Now you can have a wake-up word. So I'm going to go, hey Jeep. So once that's programmed, you just have to say, hey Jeep.
Canceled.
And there you go. You don't have to press the button. So that is cool. You can't customize the word. It's either this one or Hey Connect, or Hey You Connect, I think it is. Voice barging, what that does is that allows you to, let's say the assistant is talking to you and you're like, I don't need to hear all this. I know what the next command is. You can just barge in and say it. And then if you want to see a list of the commands that you can say, then you can say, I want that list to show. Under navigation, you can do a lot of the things we already looked through under navigation. Okay, all those kind of one-time settings. You can see something about privacy and about the version, that kind of stuff down there. Cameras. Okay, Parkview backup camera delay. That's checked, and the little circles is colored in. Then when you're in reverse and you put it back into drive, the rear camera will stay on for an additional, a little bit, up until you're at about 5 miles an hour, then it will stop. Okay. And if you want active view guidelines, the swivel, dynamic swivel guidelines, okay, these ones right here. Okay, if you want those to be on so they swivel, then that's where you have them on. You can do mirrors and wipers. We won't go through all of these, but tilting is a kind of a cool one. So if you put the car in reverse, then both driver and passenger outside mirrors tilt down so you can see see better for backing up. Right? Rain sensing auto wipers, headlights with wipers. If we go down to lights, I'll show you this one, headlight off delay. You arrive somewhere at night, your headlights are on. You get out of the car, you want the headlights to stay on for a little bit just so you can see the front door. You can go anywhere from 0 up to, looks like 90 seconds. Okay? Headlight illumination on approach. When you click it, like you click the remote on lock, how long do the lights stay on? And again, I think it's going to take you up to 90 seconds, and that's the limit. Okay, brakes. Auto parking brake right here, on or off. If you turn it on, it's automatically going to set that parking brake every time you put it in park. Okay, doors locked, seat comfort, key off options, suspension, audio. If I go in here, that's just going to take me into the same audio settings I saw earlier. All right, let's take a look at one more here. We can take a look at seats and comfort. So easy exit seats, so when you turn the car off, if that's on, when you turn the car off, and the seats are going to slide as far back as they can to make it easier for you to swing your legs out. And then when you step in, they'll also be far back, making it easy to get in. Okay, auto comfort on or off for remote start or all starts. Third row seat recline lockout on ignition or always locked or off. All right, and you can just go through all of these and take a look at all of the different things that you can set. Okay. All right. So that puts us back to the end of this list. Now, you notice there are a couple of other buttons up here. So let's look at settings for off-road. So I've got vehicle dynamics, accessory gauges, which is way cool, pitch and roll, select terrain, and suspension management. I like it that they're just all right there. That's really, really cool. Hit vehicle again. I'm going to go to controls. Here I've got a couple of shortcuts now. I've got mirror dimmer. This has the passenger screen on, so we click here. And it's not sensing anybody in that seat, so I'll leave that on. And then later I'll step into that and you'll see that. Passenger screen power on. Okay, it's on, but it's really dim, so I'll have to move over there to show you. Allow pass screen permissions. Power sidestep. Now they're out. Now they're in. And it will show you on the dashboard as well. And then you can have the rear view camera view right there. All right, so that's all under controls. Let's take a look at apps for a minute. This is kind of where everything is located. So you can memorize them as favorites, so they show up under favorites. This way, your most commonly used things will all show up in kind of one screen, right? Because you don't use everything. If you can't remember what you were just on, you can go to recents. If you want to search by category, you can do that by media, comfort, nav, phone, vehicle. So you can see those all right there. Okay? So that's kind of it for the infotainment screen here in the center. I will point out that you've got capacitive touch buttons for your heated seats, which zones are on, upper or lower, and then your ventilated seats, and then steering wheel, heated steering wheel button here. Over here you've got the same for the passenger, but down here you can turn the display off or on. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over and show you the second screen. So on the passenger's side screen here, this is about 10 and a half inches as measured diagonally. Now you got three buttons: home, notifications, and controls. So let's start with controls. Here you can do the screen brightness or dimness. You can turn the screen off, simply touch it to power it on, or you can power it off. Over here you can manage your headphones. Okay, and you can also mute it and you can change the volume. So in order to make the best use of this screen, you will want to hook a pair of Bluetooth headphones to it. So you can listen to audio from one source while the driver listens from another. Now, that being said, you can't both listen to FM radio at the same time. If the driver's on FM radio, you're going to need to be on a different source. AM radio, Sirius XM, USB something. All right. Notifications are just going to give you some messages from the vehicle. If there are any, those will show up. So let's go back to the home screen. There are three cards on this screen, and if I swipe to the left, you're going to get three more. All right? So the first one is media. Now I have my phone hooked up. I had it hooked up through Apple CarPlay. Apple CarPlay will not show up on this screen. So you just need to switch it to Bluetooth. Okay? So if I go here and I click on the audio button, you notice now I get a bigger screen. I can still go back and look at sources, change them. I can look at browse. So now I'm seeing what's on my phone by song, find something I like, and I can, let's see. There we go. So now that's going to play. Okay, but I'm not hearing anything because I don't have any Bluetooth headphones on. All right. Now to get back to your main screen here, you can just press home. All right. On the video portion, I have a USB plugged in with videos, but it's taken a long time for it to read the videos. So it's not actually going to show up. But you can see, this is where it would show up, okay? And then you'd have a play, pause, skip forward, skip backwards, that kind of stuff. And you could manage your headphones there. Right? If you had an HDMI plug-in, these are all underneath the climate control buttons in the front here in the center console. You could plug in there and you could run a portable DVD player, a gaming system, lots of different things you could do. I'm going to swipe over here. Navigation. So if I click on navigation here, I can't actually tell the car to go on a route, but I can program one and suggest it to the driver. So if I go here and I type in, say, Dairy Queen, and hit the check mark button. Okay, I found one, so I'm going to go to that one. First, I have to hit plan. And then in a minute, I'm going to have to send it to the driver. Now, I'll send it to the driver. The driver's going to get a message, view or accept. So they can look at it and then accept it. They can click the red X and get out of it, or they can click accept, and now the route will be plotted, and you can see it on your screen. Under options, you can change all sorts of things, just like you do on the main navigation. I mean, it's just crazy. It's awesome. If you want to get rid of that, just click the X.
At your destination at 12:25 p.m.
Okay, now if you want to take a look at your devices, pair a new device, manage your Bluetooth headphones, this is where you go. Now, you notice I was on Apple CarPlay. That will not show up on this screen. So I have switched mine to Bluetooth phone, like making phone calls, you know, that kind of thing, and the media side. The check mark button for 2 active phones is on, so the driver can have an active phone on their end for their screen, and I can have an active one on mine. We'll go back here. All right, cameras. If I click here, I can actually look at the camera. So for you nervous people that, you know, you're in the passenger seat and someone's backing up, well, you can watch the camera. There you go. I'm not sure that's going to be the driver's best friend, but, you know, it's there. All right, that's it on the passenger screen on the 2022 Jeep Wagoneer. Hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.